A lot of speed.
He warming up.
We're
now.
sparring.
That's what we need.
We're sparring.
Warm up.
Some
I know
8-year-olds. I got the 8-year-olds in there.
If I find out anything, I'm gonna beat your ass and I'm gonna beat Jaden Love on my mama. I'm gonna beat both of y'all ass on my mama. And he laughing. He laughing.
Our argument is misplaced because things like this should not be happening. And the fact that boxing is allowing this to happen is an embarrassment to the sport.
You know what I mean? I was misinformed. You know, you got to know what somebody's going through, man, or have gone through and where they've ended up. Now, you have to understand that. You got to understand their DNA, you know, and we as fans, we fail to realize that. We as commentators and fanboys and all that, like, we all don't do that.
Gervonta "Tank" Davis fired back after hearing that Jake Paul had been sparring with Shakur Stevenson ahead of their fight. Davis dismissed it outright, saying Jake can train however he wants, but it won't change the outcome. Tank made it clear that once fight night arrives, he plans to prove his power and punish Jake in the ring. In his words, no amount of sparring or warm-ups will matter when they finally face off.
Don't worry about it. I don't gotta say it up here. Let anything happen, and I'm gonna show you and him. Bet.
It begs the question, Tank.
Boxing analysts have pointed out the irony and the backlash over the Jake Paul versus Gervonta "Tank" Davis matchup. While critics argue that Tank's choice undermines boxing purists, others are quick to capitalize on the buzz. Shakur Stevenson himself acknowledged this tension, saying that even if fans are disappointed, he's still willing to spar with Jake Paul to keep himself relevant and support the sport. The situation highlights the balancing act modern boxing faces, navigating business opportunities, personal reputation, and the expectations of a divided fan base.
At the same time, he is going to fight Jake Paul. Now, what I find interesting is how people on one hand are going to criticize it, but on the other hand, try to take advantage of it for their own profit. So Shakur Stevenson, definitely for press purposes, definitely for publicity purposes, offers to get in the training camp and spar for Jake Paul. Spar Jake Paul for the Tank fight. Now, why would he be doing this? It's called copycat crap. Because the last big fight that took place, which was Terrence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez, guess what happened? Jaron Ennis went and sparred Canelo Alvarez to help Canelo Alvarez prepare for Terrence Crawford. So, do I think that is coincidental? No, I do not. I think that it is trying to have your cake and eat it too. You are trying to complain and say Gervonta Davis is not a real competitive fighter, that this is a sideshow, freak show fight, but yet you want your name associated with it and you want to participate in it for your own good gain. Let me assure you that when Terrence Crawford said in an interview that he wouldn't fight Jake Paul, that's not a serious fight, and then they said, well, would you fight Jake Paul for $200 million? And he said, I'd be fighting Jake Paul.
Analysts say Gervonta "Tank" Davis is letting money guide his career choices more than legacy. His upcoming fight with Jake Paul has fueled that belief, with many arguing the matchup is more about the payday than prestige. Fans calling for Tank to face elite names like Shakur Stevenson or Lamont Roach may be disappointed unless promoters, like Turk in this case, put up the kind of money seen in mega fights such as Canelo Alvarez versus Terrence Crawford. At this stage, it looks like Tank's biggest motivation isn't proving himself against the best, but securing the biggest check.
$40 million with Ryan. When he make another 40+ million with Jake,
he's gonna go make $40 million fighting Jake Paul, and then he's gonna come back and fight Lamont Roach for what? He's gonna come back and fight Shakur Stevenson for what? He's not gonna fight none of those guys.
No, the only way he fight any of them guys, Turkey gonna have to hit him with the Crawford money. Cause that's the thing. You do this for a reason, bro. Like, I get it. You want him to be competitive, but his goal is money. He made 40 with Ryan plus everything in between. Now he get this 40-50 million plus. He don't even gotta fight no more. So now if you want him to fight Shakur, Give me that.
And Tank disrespectful to the sport if he choose that over fighting with me. I'm the best fighter in the sport. I've been telling him that. And he called cap on it. So if he won't call cap and say I'm not who I say I am, come prove it. I think it's dangerous for him to go back in there and fight Lamont. I think Lamont is a hell of a fighter. I can see that going left. So he better.